#1 in the Ozarks. This is KY3 News at 6.
Tonight, a mother is upset over a classroom incident that left her kindergartner embarrassed. Good evening, I'm Jerry Jacob.
I'm Lisa Rose, and we'll be talking to Steve Grant in Washington a little later in the newscast. It was a 6-year-old girl who had an accident in her classroom. Now her parents are pushing for policy changes. KY3's Sarah Forhetz has the story from Southwest R5 School in Washburn.
They told me that the teacher had asked her to go to the restroom before testing time.
Lisa Skidmore says asking a young child to go to the bathroom on demand is next to impossible.
You can't do that to a 6-year-old.
That's why when her kindergartner told her teacher she had to go to the restroom during the test and wasn't allowed, Lisa couldn't believe it. Her little girl couldn't hold it.
She still had poop, diarrhea poop, coming out the back, up the front, down her legs.
Skidmore says her daughter was forced to sit in the class for the remainder of test time, about 15 minutes. Then mom was called after the test, and it was another 20-minute drive to school to pick her daughter up. All the while, her little girl had to sit in the mess. No one bothered to clean her up, though a teacher did give her a trash bag to wrap around herself.
Don't even treat a dog that way.
She says she's hoping policy will change and common sense will prevail.
I don't want this to happen to any other kid. That's the point of it, too, you know. I don't want this ever happening.
We talked to the school superintendent. He didn't want to go on camera, but Mr. Bob Walker tells us that he wishes the school would have handled it differently. He said, bottom line, we regret what happened. But he says from here on out, he has instructed all of his teachers to be more sensitive to possible situations that might come up like this one.
The little girl's dad has a tough time even talking about it.
If any parent sent their kids to school with crappy pants, those parents would be facing criminal charges. I believe that with all my heart.
The family isn't pressing charges, but likely pressed hard enough for the school to consider changing its ways.
If it's your child, I mean, it hits a raw nerve. I mean, deep.
In Washburn, Sarah Forhetz, KY3 News.
Many kids taking MAP tests right now. That's the state's standardized test required by law. Those tests start in the 3rd grade. The superintendent says the reason the teacher was sticking so closely to MAP testing guidelines, even for a kindergartner, is because she was trying to simulate the stringent rules.